New heated footage of Brandon Aiyuk confronting the San Francisco 49ers front office is going viral. Aiyuk is accusing the organization of mishandling his situation and making a series of costly mistakes behind the scenes. But in the process, the star receiver may have just put himself in an even deeper hole. Here's what's happening. The San Francisco 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk are locked in an ugly public showdown, and the star wide receiver took to Instagram delivering a wild, profanity-laced rant targeting the front office. It didn't feel like a PR move. It didn't feel calculated. It felt like a man who had completely run out of patience. Aiyuk posted a video to Instagram, appearing to imply that the 49ers are afraid to release him because he could land elsewhere and eventually make them regret letting him go. The video spread across every corner of the NFL internet within hours. Clips got clipped, screenshots got shared, and the whole thing just kept growing. In the video, Aiyuk said, "We dealing with, like them kids, and they don't get picked for the basketball game at the court, but they the ones that brought the ball. So they like, all right, y'all don't want to pick me. I'm taking my ball. I'm going home." He wasn't done. Or like when your kid, he got this one toy, but he don't really know how to use it correctly. So somebody else about to pick it up and play with it. And they're like, "Oh yeah, this shit, Liddy." And they're like, wait, hold on. That's my toy. Then came the line that became a meme overnight. "Stop running from the belt coming. You scared. They scared. The truth is they scared." The crowd online went into a frenzy. 49ers fans were furious. Commanders fans were laughing and lighting up their mentions. NFL analysts were shaking their heads. And then, before the dust even settled on that first video, Aiyuk posted again. This time a 30-second video in which he appears to call the 49ers stupid and dumb. "They mad because they stupid. They dumb. They mad that they paid me $50 million in 8 months and then voided my guarantees for 2027. And I'm about to be on a new team in 2026. Then he twisted the knife. "They mad at themselves, for real. They just acting like they mad at me, but they stupid ass mad at themselves." Now, that wasn't just trash talk. That was a man publicly burning down the bridge he was still standing on, and doing it live for everyone to watch. Longtime reporter Tim Kawakami labeled the behavior as pure social media sickness. NFL Network chimed in too. Ian Rappaport said, "There's really no deadline to make a move at all. So until and unless everyone gets tired of Brandon Aiyuk sending Instagram messages, this is going to be a storyline that takes us through the summer." Meanwhile, Aiyuk was following only 5 accounts on Instagram as of Monday afternoon. His wife, Adidas, his personal brand, the Commanders, and Jaden Daniels. On Saturday, Aiyuk also posted photos of himself wearing a Commanders hat. He also posted a photo of himself holding a game-issued Commanders football, with a caption that read, "Stop the cap, the gig is up." Some have speculated Washington would eventually give in and send the 49ers a 6th or 7th round pick to add another weapon to their offense. But any chances of that happening are probably gone, now that Aiyuk has gone on this online tirade. Given how receivers in the past have been treated following similar outbursts, it's difficult to project the Commanders remaining interested in Aiyuk, even if he ends up being granted what he wants. The thing is, none of this came from nowhere. This fire had been building for a very long time, and to understand exactly why Aiyuk went off the way he did, you have to go back to where it all started. In 2023, Aiyuk had 75 catches for 1,342 yards and 7 scores, after which he engaged in a contentious offseason of negotiating for an extension that included a trade request, a deal to the Pittsburgh Steelers falling through, and a hold-in that persisted throughout the 2024 preseason. So even before the ink dried on his new deal, the relationship had already been tested. Aiyuk signed his 4-year, $120 million extension on August 29, 2024, after an often contentious standoff. Through the process, the Niners had agreed to trades that would have sent Aiyuk to the Cleveland Browns, New England Patriots, and Pittsburgh Steelers. In each case, Aiyuk vetoed the situation so he could stay in San Francisco. So he chose San Francisco. He pushed to stay. He got his money, and then everything fell apart, fast. The team signed the receiver to a 4-year, $120 million contract extension, ahead of the 2024 season, only to get 7 games out of Aiyuk before he suffered season-ending ACL and MCL injuries. He has not played in a game since October 2024, when he tore the ACL, MCL, and meniscus in his knee, a devastating injury to a man who had just signed the biggest contract of his life. And the natural expectation would be that the organization rallies around one of their most important offensive players. helps him through his rehab, gets him back on the field. That's not what happened. The 49ers became displeased with Aiyuk's actions during his recovery, as he reportedly failed to attend meetings and declined to participate in other team activities, frustrating the organization with his lack of communication. Shanahan tried to keep the door open publicly. He told reporters he was still hopeful Aiyuk could return, but behind the scenes, the relationship was fraying at the seams. Shanahan said, "I'm not getting much dialogue just personally between him and I've been told that it's week to week. So each week I wait to see if he's ready to come back for practice, and I haven't got that answer yet." Then came the move that changed everything. The Niners voided the 2026 guaranteed money in Aiyuk's contract. Shanahan would not get into the specifics of why, which over the cap lists at $27 million the following season. And here's where it gets unusual, even by NFL standards. I've been coaching over 20 years, and I've never been in a situation where a contract's been voided, Shanahan said. It's extremely unusual to me. Think about that for a second. A head coach who has been in NFL buildings for 2 decades, who has seen holdouts, trades, suspensions, locker room blowups, and he's saying this particular situation is unlike anything he's encountered. The 49ers voided Aiyuk's fully guaranteed 2026 money in late July, and Aiyuk did not file a grievance within the NFL's 50-day window, leaving the void in place. There are things that happened. There's basic rules, team rules, league rules, and when they're not adhered to, this is the first time it's happened in our tenure, the front office held firm. Aiyuk, rather than fight it through proper channels, through the NFLPA, through a grievance, just went silent. He cut off communication with the organization. The standoff ultimately left the 49ers with little choice but to place the disgruntled receiver on the reserve left squad list, ending any possibility of a return in 2025 and effectively ending his time in the Bay Area. If Aiyuk doesn't play again for the Niners, he will have been paid $48 million to appear in 7 games after signing the extension. In those contests, he had 25 receptions for 374 yards and 0 touchdowns. $48 million. 7 games, 0 touchdowns, and now a full-blown public war with the franchise. The numbers make the whole thing feel almost absurd. But this is where the story was always heading. Before the Instagram rants ever went viral, Brandon Aiyuk had already handed prosecutors the tools to come for him, and he did it himself on YouTube for the whole world to see. The warrant is in reference to a video Aiyuk posted to YouTube in December, in which he appears to tape himself from the driver's seat going well over the posted 40 miles per hour speed limit. On a road that runs past Levi's Stadium, the DA's office confirmed to ESPN. Now picture that. Aiyuk, a man in the middle of one of the most volatile standoffs in recent NFL history. A man who had reportedly stopped showing up to his own team's facility, driving at triple-digit speeds past that same stadium on camera, and posting it publicly. The date correlates with when a YouTube video was posted to Aiyuk's account, showing him driving a Cadillac CT5V Blackwing. He introduces the car in the video as the Cadillac's answer to Dodge's Hellcat model, before he cuts to a clip of someone behind the wheel. Aiyuk's face is not in the clip, but the driver is wearing red sweatpants, which Aiyuk was wearing earlier in the video. The video shows the speedometer reaching as high as 111 miles per hour on Tasman Drive, the very road that runs alongside Levi's Stadium, the stadium he hadn't been inside for months. There's a certain reckless symbolism to it that's hard to ignore. When the video was released, the public reacted with stark backlash over the lack of safety in it. The wide receiver apologized on social media for the video and said that any future car content wouldn't feature any more speeding. A few days after posting the video, Aiyuk apologized for sharing it. A Cadillac CT5V Blackwing on Tasman Drive, just outside of the Niners' home field. He wrote that he'd been praying with his son and wouldn't want anyone to miss that opportunity with their loved ones. Sentimental, genuine maybe, but the damage was done. Even after Aiyuk's public apology for the incident, the Santa Clara Police Department still conducted an investigation into the video. The office chose to forward the case to the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office on January 15. The Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office issued a warrant for the arrest of San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk on a misdemeanor charge of exhibition of speeding. Unfortunately for the 6th-year NFL vet, The mea culpa wasn't enough for local officials, who launched an investigation into the incident. And what did Aiyuk do when the arrest warrant news dropped? Seemingly unbothered by the warrant, he posted a video of himself driving on a racetrack to Instagram on Wednesday afternoon. Now you've got a man with an active arrest warrant responding to it with more driving content. That was the week the entire thing accelerated. The rant videos followed almost immediately. The legal situation only added another layer to an already complicated relationship between Aiyuk and the 49ers. It's clear that nobody is advising Aiyuk. If they are, he's not listening. Aiyuk is beyond shooting himself in the foot. He hasn't played football since October 2024. The further we get away from that date, the less likely it is he'll return as the same impact player. The speeding video was supposed to be a petty footnote in a messy story. Instead, it became the accelerant that turned a cold standoff into a blazing public meltdown. And behind all the noise, the 49ers front office was still holding their ground, calmly, quietly, and with all the leverage. While Aiyuk was posting fire emojis and car content, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan were doing something that looked a lot like nothing, and that was exactly the strategy. The 49ers have been open to trading Aiyuk, but GM John Lynch said in April, following the 2026 NFL Draft, that the team had no plans to release him anytime soon. No urgency, no panic, just patience. Because from a purely financial standpoint, San Francisco holds every chip in this game. Now that June 1 has passed, the Niners can trade or release Aiyuk, with the rest of the dead money owed to him split up over the next 2 years rather than just 2026. But the 49ers have no deadline to release Aiyuk because he remains on the reserve left squad list, which means he is not being paid and does not count against their 90-man roster. Think about that structure. He's not being paid, he's not taking up roster space, he can't sign anywhere else, and all they have to do is wait. According to insider David Lombardi, San Francisco faces zero financial downside by making him wait. Because Aiyuk is on the left squad list, the team doesn't have to pay his current salary, and keeping him on the roster actually protects their salary cap structure. Insiders note that if Aiyuk actually reports to the team, the 49ers would likely cut him immediately, to avoid any future financial obligations. However, Aiyuk seems intent on forcing a clean release via public pressure. That's the trap he's stuck in. If he shows up, they cut him, and there's a possibility he injures himself again, putting them back on the hook for salary. So they don't want him there, and if he doesn't show up, he's fined and still can't sign anywhere. The Instagram posts aren't moving the needle for the organization at all. As the offseason has progressed, no trade has materialized, and the Niners have continued to hold on to Aiyuk, in part because Coach Kyle Shanahan said they're not trying to hook up any other team as fast as you possibly can. Lynch, for his part, kept his public messaging controlled. Lynch said in January that the wide receiver had played his last snap for the franchise, despite his 4-year, $120 million contract extension signed in 2024. But even in saying it was over, Lynch left the door open for a trade, not a gift. "Give us a call," Lynch said. "I think it's the prudent thing to do. He's an extremely talented player. He's been an extremely effective player in our league. The situation didn't work itself out here. That's not to say it can't be rekindled somewhere else. Professional, measured, diplomatic, while simultaneously making it clear they want something in return. For a player they've essentially declared dead weight to them." According to a report from NFL Network's Mike Garafolo, Aiyuk had essentially ceased communication with his agent, Athletes First's Ryan Williams, leaving any potential deal up in the air. That's the detail that keeps getting overlooked in all this. It's not just that Aiyuk cut off the 49ers. At some point during all of this, he reportedly stopped talking to the very person whose job it is to get him out of this situation and onto a new team in San Francisco if he did not show up. He did not heed that advice. His own agent was warning him. He didn't listen. As Kawakami pointed out, the 49ers gave the wide receiver $30 million a year not too long ago, and he threw it away. San Francisco has the right to play hardball for as long as they want, leaving Aiyuk's toxic social media strategy completely powerless. The whole time this has been playing out, there's been one destination hovering over every conversation: Washington, D.C. Aiyuk has an existing relationship with quarterback Jaden Daniels after the duo played together at Arizona State. In 2019, where they combined for 192 yards and 8 touchdowns. Aiyuk's 2019 college season led him to become a first-round pick with the 49ers, where he developed a relationship with eventual Commanders general manager Adam Peters. So you've got the quarterback connection, you've got the GM connection, you've got Aiyuk publicly wearing Commanders gear and following the team on Instagram. It should be a straightforward reunion story. Except the 49ers aren't cooperating, and Aiyuk keeps making Washington more and more nervous about pulling the trigger. On NFL Network, Ian Rappaport explained, "First of all, here's what the San Francisco 49ers would like. They have his rights. He's not due any guaranteed money because he forfeited by not showing up to his rehab, so they would like to trade him, probably to the Commanders, with his old friend Jaden Daniels, and an organization that obviously knows him well, considering GM Adam Peters was in San Francisco and all of that." Rappaport continued, "What the Commanders would like to do is sign him without having to trade for him. So we're in a situation where no one wants to move at all. They're all staring at each other. There's really no deadline to make a move at all. So until or unless everyone gets tired of Brandon Aiyuk sending Instagram messages, this is going to be a storyline that takes us through the summer. A stare down. The 49ers want trade value. Washington wants a free release. Aiyuk wants out immediately. Everybody's waiting on someone else to blink first." When a local reporter asked Jaden Daniels directly where Aiyuk fits on the team, his response was measured. "I don't know." Daniels obviously wants to play with Aiyuk, but he came out publicly saying he has no say in it. So even his closest friend in the league is keeping a careful distance. Now, some people within the Commanders' circle aren't convinced Aiyuk's behavior tells the whole story. Former 49ers executive Ran Carthon, who was director of pro personnel when San Francisco made Aiyuk a first-round pick, told Washington radio hosts that one thing you don't have to worry about with Aiyuk is he's gonna work, because he's a natural worker. He's quiet by nature, and by no means is he a bad person or a bad teammate. I don't think you can find anybody that'll say that. I just think Brandon is the type of guy that has principles. He has beliefs, and he has things that he's willing to stand on, and probably to a fault sometimes." That's a character reference from someone who watched Aiyuk every day. But right now, the Instagram videos are louder than any character reference. Once you completely destroy your reputation, especially in this manner, it's difficult to find a spot with another franchise. Aiyuk cut off communications with the 49ers early in the 2025 season, and the team was eventually forced to void the rest of the guaranteed money in his contract. ESPN's Adam Schefter said on a podcast, "We don't know what Aiyuk is physically going to be like. His knee was shredded. I can't say that the Washington Commanders won't go after him because he and Jaden Daniels are close, and Jaden may push for him. There is a widening chasm between Aiyuk and the 49ers, and there continue to be growing concerns about Aiyuk's mental state. At this point, his future in the NFL may be the least of his concerns. He has an active arrest warrant. He hasn't played in a game since October 2024. He's publicly torched his relationship with one of the NFL's most respected franchises. His own agent was reportedly struggling to get him to communicate. And yet, every morning this week, he's woken up and posted another video. The talent has never been the question for a former first-rounder with 2 1-0-yard seasons to his credit, including his 75-catch campaign in 2023 when he averaged 17.9 yards per reception and helped the 49ers reach the Super Bowl. Almost 3 years removed from having a significant on-field impact, along with lingering questions from teammates. As one Niners Nation writer put it, "Just when you think no team would take on Aiyuk," remember former Cardinals general manager Steve Keim said, "If Hannibal Lecter ran a 4.3, we'd probably diagnose it as an eating disorder," meaning talent has a way of making teams forget everything else. And there are franchises out there desperate enough for a receiver that they'll look past all of this. The 49ers, however, have little reason to act swiftly. While San Francisco hopes a trade partner emerges, the most likely outcome is that the team eventually releases him. When that happens, and it will happen, Washington will be the first call. Whether Peters picks up, given everything that's gone down over the past week, is the only real question left. One thing's for certain: another day that Brandon Aiyuk remains on the San Francisco 49ers roster brings yet another social media video taking aim at the franchise. And the internet is absolutely here for it.